Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Final Plan, the show where James and I run down our deadline day dilemmas, final transfers, and anything else to do with our fantasy football teams before the deadline. Deadline's tomorrow, 11:30. How are we doing, James?
Still shit.
Oh, still feeling rough. So, talk to me. Deadline is 24 hours away.
No one gives a fuck. I've booked flights for Munich. That's all you need to know.
Forget about Champions League. You had one free transfer going into this week?
I do, yes. Nothing's been done yet. I can't give you a concrete decision of what I'm going to do now. I will most likely sell Martial for Mason Mount, but I will wait for Lampard's press conference today. And obviously not make any transfers till after 11 o'clock this evening, just on the safe side.
Yeah, of course. And that's the only transfer you've got to make this week anyway. So
yeah, I mean, I did want to move off of Lucas Moura. I have no idea if he'll start or not at Arsenal on Sunday, but I think I'll roll with it. I don't see enough value for me at the moment to be taking a hit when I'm pretty sure I will probably want to on the other side of the break.
Okay. I have 2 free transfers this week, and I'm eyeing out getting rid of Ioza Perez. Now, I've let that roll again, and he's had another price drop to 6.3 now. I suppose one of the consequences of having money in the bank, I have 1.3 million in the bank, is it's made me a little lazy about these price drops because I can afford to go from anywhere to anywhere. And so I can get to Matt, even if he drops by another 0.1 million, I can go from Perez to wherever I want to go, whether it be Madison or what have you. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing.
Sometimes, yeah. I think like you're very much in debate about Ioza Perez, aren't you?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
so
yeah.
he dropped last night.
Yes.
I really, really think that you should give him one more shot this weekend.
I'm not convinced. Again, they had a reasonable result in midweek, but Madison was the one that got on the end of his free kick. Really, to be honest, a bit lucky, but I'm not convinced with Perez.
Are you that convinced that Madison will outscore Perez tomorrow? Because I understand you're going to probably move off now.
Yeah.
You're talking about doing it for a hit as well, maybe.
No.
No.
I've got 2 free transfers, so
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely Perez out, and I either go up to Madison or I go down to Mason Mount.
What would be the other transfer you'd do?
The only other transfer that I'm considering making is getting rid of Callum Wilson to bring back my best mate, Sebastian Aller.
All right, jokes aside, I think you should make that one move and roll the other one. That would be my advice.
Yeah, when you look at your
it's
FPL
good to come
team,
out the international break with the 2 frees. I would like to.
much rather come out the international break with 2 free transfers. Much rather come out of it.
And not many people are, the way it looks. Just looking
there's
at
a ton of
things
people
on Twitter
based on Twitter and my DMs. There's a ton of people on their wild card at the moment. If I had a penny or a pound for every time somebody had asked me this week about the 2 players at West Ham, Lanzini and Haller, because a lot of people are thinking of doubling up, then we would be making this a full-time profession, mate, because I'd be cashing in every time someone asks me about those 2. And I'll repeat my advice that I've been giving to most people so that they don't have to ask me again, is that I would have Haller, and I'm 50-50 on Lanzini. But depends what the rest of your squad's doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy with that?
Yeah, I think getting involved with 2 attacking West Ham players, in spite of what does look a very appealing run, feels like the sort of thing that will fucking bite you. And you may well have a lot of success with it this weekend with how open Norwich are likely to be. But I don't think that's a forward-moving plan. I think get the one you want. If Haller looks, even at the higher price than the others, looks the one to go to if you've got none and you want to go to one. But yeah, I wouldn't be keen on seeing teams with like Aller and Lanzini or Aller and Anderson or 2 of the midfielders. I think Yarmolenko's worth coming into the consideration actually.
Yeah,
because
let's see if he starts again.
Antonio's injury.
Yeah, he pulled up with a hamstring against Newport, which was not good. But then I think it's worth waiting to see really with him and what he's going to do there. Yeah, North v South. Should we talk about North v South? I've opened up now 33-point lead.
Yay!
And we always knew this was a possibility just because of the embarrassment of riches at Liverpool and Man City. So this week I've made my transfers very early in my North v South team. I had Chris Wood and Perez, and I didn't like the look of either of those two. So I sold Chris Wood for Pookie. May as well. I can have Norwich players. And
not Allaire.
Not Allaire. I've not allowed him, am I?
Oh,
he's in the south.
Of course, yeah. Sorry.
I've not allowed him. So Pookie came in, and then I got rid of Perez, but then I had to go a little bit cheaper to make up the funds, and I've gone with Manchild's favourite DJ, Ashley Westwood.
Are you trying to blow this apart and give me a chance?
No.
Okay, that's interesting.
You think Pookie and Westwood's not a better option than Perez and Barnes? I think Pookie's a buy and hold now.
No, I probably don't. Although, admittedly, you've got Jamie Vardy as well, so that I guess
I've got
another
Vardy,
one I don't
Pookie,
think
and
you'd want to
Diogo
double up.
Jota, Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling, Trent and Robbo and Dean.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Yeah,
I didn't mention Pogba.
We're into game week 4, and I still don't have a single good defensive option, which is why I'm probably lining up with a back 4 this week. Yeah, state of it. I don't particularly know what I'm doing with this yet because Mount is a doubt. We think Mount's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Pedro, I assume, is out. Timing wise for me is shit with Sheffield United at home because I think it's the sort of game he would have returned in. So I might be taking a hit and I might be going double West Ham.
Hello?
Yeah, I mean, it's not from a value point because I've got loads in the bank and I'm just kind of waiting to come out the other side to make a decision on Son and Pepe. But yeah, I could well go Callum Wilson to Allaire and captain him this week. That seems like a fairly smart move.
You don't want to captain either of the big North London derby boys, Kane or Aubameyang?
At the moment, it's on Aubameyang.
Yeah.
But yes, I'd rather not. If I can avoid that,
So
and then if I move off Pedro, then I'd really consider Trossard, but I'm not going to take a hit for that with Man City away this week for Brighton.
No, definitely not.
And I feel like I'm going to have to be aggressive with this team. So I might well go like Lanzini, Yarmolenko, Anderson. I need to have a good think about that. And then I can take one of the shit back 4, Maitland, Niles, Cathcart, Zuma or Diop out. Although 3 of them are at home this week. I suppose Rudiger's getting close to fitness and Zuma's not nailed on. But even Cathcart at Newcastle away, they don't look bad.
Could be worse.
So I could even roll with that, but then I'm not that happy about having Moura, Kane at Arsenal and Wilson and Fraser at Leicester. So I'm unsure what I'm doing.
Tough times. I've put the armband on Pookie in my FPL North
against
team.
West Ham.
Yeah, because I didn't feel comfortable doing it in my regular FPL team.
Is there a reason why you would not just captain Raheem Sterling?
Yeah, a bit of fun.
Can you please tell people why you'd not do that?
Bit of fun. Completely. There's no rhyme or reason.
Do you know what?
This weekend, Raheem Sterling
beg
is
you
better
to keep taking this
option.
lightly, honestly.
Raheem Sterling's a better captaincy option than Pookie, but Pookie's not a bad captaincy option this week at West Ham.
Which one do you think is going to score more points? Just put the armband on Sterling, man.
Nah, Pookie. I think Pookie. I feel like Pookie's going to score and get a double return this week.
Yeah. West Ham fans, there's your warning.
And City should beat Brighton, right, 4-5-0. But if Brighton set up with a back 5, like 3 in the middle and 2 more, then it's going to take some breaking down from City. I don't think it's going to be as the 5-0, 6-0 that people are predicting. I think that they'll set up solid at the back defensively, and they'll none of the City attackers are going to be challenging Duncan Duffy on crosses in, right? Those two are going to mop up anything like that. Not that the City play that way, so they're going to have to break them down. And I think Brighton might be a bit, stubborn.
I think that this is Man City and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
They're not
matter.
going to be swinging in, aerial balls.
No, they never do. But don't know.
Well, no, if the timing's right, look at De Bruyne's cross for Sterling against Spurs. I mean, even still against Brighton, if you put it in that good an area, doesn't matter how big they are at the back, you're still going to get the goal.
Yeah, I mean, a quality cross will take out defenders comfortably.
And they're not the quickest on the turn on that, and you've got plenty of fleet-footed players there, Aguero, Sterling. It's the sort of one I'd look at with City and go, international break next week. Ramp it up, like to get a couple of early goals. I think it's the sort of game they would. I think City are in a position where it's the sort of game where if they get a couple early, it's the sort of fixture they would target and go, let's go for the goal difference here.
Yeah. The other thing is they put scoreboard
it's
pressure.
It's not to discredit Brighton at all, because I think we can all see already this season massive improvements in them.
Yeah, I think the thing with City is they're playing at 3 and Liverpool at 5:30, right? So even that little bit of pressure that they can put, because Burnley's going to be a tough game for Liverpool away. If City can jump to the top of the table and Liverpool have to win to get back up there, and they know that a draw is only going to get them tied, then it will put pressure on Liverpool. So they're going to want to win that game for sure.
I don't think you feel that sort of pressure at this stage of the season.
I
don't think Liverpool would be at Burnley and see it come on. Man City won 7-1. I don't think you can think like that at this stage. Not the score,
but the points. Because to fall behind again, Liverpool know that they have to stay toe-to-toe throughout the entire season.
Liverpool will go to Burnley knowing that when they kick off, now, Klopp will have told them, anticipate when the game kicks off, you're 1 point behind Man City. Mm-hmm. That's the motivation already done, right?
How many points Liverpool went 7 clear last year, right, pre-Christmas? Was it 7?
After City lost at Newcastle, I think it was still 7. But
it
definitely
7.
It definitely was before City beat Liverpool 7.
And threw it away. If I say throw it away, got caught.
They didn't throw nothing away.
They didn't throw it away. They got caught. So again, they're not going to want to fall behind, man. They're not going to want to fall behind. So I see it. I think the point we're making is City are going to beat Brighton more than likely, but I just don't think it's going to be a 5-6-0. I don't see that necessarily. Let's talk about the differential team, the team that James and I co-manage that has players with less than 10% ownership. As soon as they cross 20% ownership, they're out of the door. And this week, we have a player close to tipping over the edge in John Lundstrom. We
do, yeah. We had 44 points last week, assists from Captain Martial, nice returns up front from Haller 13 and Vardy 8. And I feel like those two are going to sit there for a while now for us.
Yeah.
We've got a few injuries. Anthony Martial is one.
Yes.
I strongly believe we should keep. And the reason we should keep is because his ownership's about 14.5%. And if we sell and suddenly he's back instantly for game week 5, we wouldn't be able to get him back. And I feel like he's worth holding on to. John Stones feels similar in terms of the injury might not be prolonged. I don't even know if he's definitely unavailable this week. I feel like that's one we can get without. Lundstrom's ownership's up to 19.5%. Mm-hmm. We have to sell once it hits 20. They have Chelsea away this weekend. I see no reason to wait, and I think with $1 million in the bank, that is the transfer we should be looking to make.
4.1 we would get for Lundstrom, because we owned him from the start of the season. Plus the $1 million in the bank gives us 5.1 to play with. But there's not a ton of options there. But we're looking for a 4.5 million defender then.
Essentially. The number one name I would put out there, although it would suddenly mean having 3 Leicester players in the team, which I'm not massively keen on, is Soyuncu, yeah.
Soyuncu's a good shout.
I think that's right. The only other name I'd put out there, which we can't currently afford, but if we obviously took Stones out, we could take a -4 and do both here, is Emerson.
Emerson's had a lot of shots, but I don't think you can rely on him for clean sheets. And defenders primarily get their points, other than Liverpool defenders, from clean sheets.
Correct, but you're going to have to take a gamble on a few here, and actually having an attacking fullback in this sort of setup is no bad thing. I mean, the only attacking fullback we've got out of the 5 defenders available right now is Doherty, and obviously on Clash of the Correspondents yesterday, Bradley said at the moment it doesn't even warrant being in the team.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a concern. So Could even take Doherty out.
You don't fancy someone like Aarons at Leicester or Stevens?
At Norwich, you mean?
Norwich, sorry, or Stevens at Sheffield United. Yeah, sorry.
No.
I was thinking yellow.
No. I'd actually, as I said on the main, but I'd go Baldock at the moment if I was going to go that way. So, no interest there.
We are looking for differentials here.
Do we want to take?
I don't mind looking at Soyuncu.
I think Soyuncu's nailed on one there to do. Would we consider taking a hit to get one of the others out for Emerson?
No.
To just the one change, Soyuncu.
Yeah.
All right, I'm run with that then. Still leave us 0.6 in the bank.
Armband this week, Haller at home against Norwich.
I think it's a straight choice between him and Vardy, really.
Vardy at home to Bournemouth or Haller at home to Norwich. I think Haller at home to Norwich, they're the leakier defence. I think that makes more sense.
Have we suddenly got a lot of trust in Bournemouth?
No. But I definitely don't have trust in Norwich. They've conceded, quite a few now.
But it's one game on Haller, and you know the consistency that Vardy brings.
It's one game, but also quite often you see with strikers the confidence it brings means that they go into a few games and are on fire. Look at Barnes and Pukki; they're on a roll. So you're catching them when they're hot.
I'm inclined to agree with you actually, and go let's go Haller. So if we bring in Soyuncu, essentially that will leave us 4-4-2 this week.
Yep.
I think we'd leave Doherty as first sub and leave Stones in the team just in case.
Yes.
So we'd go Laporte, Stones, Zuma, Soyuncu, all at home.
Yep.
Are we saying Tom Heaton in goal this week rather than Loris? Heaton at Palace, Loris at Arsenal.
I think give Heaton a chance. I think give Heaton a chance.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a bad weekend, this. Midfield 4 of Richarlison, Pogba, Tielemans, Pepe and Vardy, vice-captain, and Haller, captain up front.
Sounds interesting. Sounds good.
It's capable. A lot of home fixtures there, actually, amongst that. So it's capable of having a very good week. I think if it goes very bad, and we're looking at all them away fixtures in game week 5, it might be wildcard slamming button time once we've got the information. Do it over the international break. Try and take advantage of anybody that's sort of shooting up in ownership and that. Possibly.
Agreed. So we've got 24 hours to go before the deadline, and then we have a nice 2-week international break ahead of us. Looking forward to the timeout?
No.
You don't like these international breaks at all?
I hate them. Who likes them? You come back, you just start the season, and then we're doing this again to watch England play. I don't even know who England are playing. England are going to get out of the group.
Yeah.
Great.
Convinced. So we've got next week coming at you all of the regular shows. We have the main podcast is coming out on Monday. On Monday, we'll be doing the People's Poll as well. So look out on Twitter at Planet FPL Pod on Sunday for the poll tab.
I'm gonna send a poll out after the North London derby. So it could be some really fucked up shit that I decide for the people to discuss.
Send me the poll first, then I'll just check it for appropriateness, let's say. We also have our regular show, Tot and Ham, the show where James and I talk about Tottenham and West Ham. Let me tell you about Tottenham, actually. It was this morning. I'll tell you about the show I was on yesterday, actually. Maybe people will tune into that. But this morning I was with... I was showered and ready to leave the house to pick you up bright and early. My wife's still half asleep in bed. She's looking on YouTube. She's like, I've just accidentally subscribed to your YouTube channel. Sorry. I was like, why are you sorry? It's not an accident. She goes, I just hit subscribe. She's never going to watch it, right? And she goes, and what's your other show? Let me search for that. Was it Tot and Ham? I said, I'm doing a bad impression, but yeah. I was like, yeah, it's called Tot and Ham. She goes, oh, Tottenham. She goes, what's Ham? Spurs. I was like, sorry? She goes, Ham, what's that? Spurs. I was like, no. She goes, oh, Arsenal. At this point, it's silence, right? I'm just looking at her like, what? She goes, what's Ham? She goes, oh, West Ham, Hammers. I was like, yeah. West Ham. She's like, oh, sorry, I just woke up. I was like, that's not an excuse. Just literally, that was it, out the house.
I'd have taken a ring off and thrown it at her.
I was like, well, like, What? We've been married for nearly 9 years. You don't know West Ham with the Hammers. That was an interesting conversation.
Meanwhile, when I got home from work last night, the first thing she said to me was, "Take it you're going to Munich then." Fucking right, love.
Yeah, that would be a good laugh.
When's that? I don't know, but as soon as I know the date, I'm booking flights. Done.
Yes. Yesterday I was on the FPL FYI show for Premier League, which was good fun. We'll tweet that out when it goes live, if it goes live.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Yeah,
You know why I didn't get the invite, don't you?
You talk too much?
I might swear too much.
Oh, well, we won't talk about that actually, because that was those are the last words that came out of my wife's mouth when I left the house yesterday morning.
What?
She goes,
Fuck off.
She said, don't swear. She goes, I've heard you, James. She goes, don't swear. And all I'll say is that on any set that I've ever been on, when the cameras are off, there are a few swear words kicking around, mate. There are a few swear words kicking around, so don't worry about swearing. So we'll look out for that. But otherwise, we've got a full week next week. No clash of the correspondents, but we've got something better.
I wouldn't say better.
Yeah. Let's pick it up. Canals coming on.
Yes, he is. We're going to do a little bit on next Thursday with FPL Canals coming on. We'd look at some of the numbers that matter from the first 4 game weeks. He's so good with the stats. He really just puts the slant on things. I love it.
Correct.
And on Friday, as promised, because a few people have said they'd still want to hear it, a lot of the FPL listeners won't. It's completely understandable. It's fine. Sure. We will do a podcast on Bury Football Club next Friday.
Yes, which will be this would be sad to think about. But
it's sickening, mate.
So they now have to reapply to join the Football League. Lower down conference
they'll have to go lower than that.
Same as Luton had to do, right? Luton Town, or was their situation when they went to administration slightly different? No,
Luton just kept going down the divisions, and they was in admin and that, but they never went below the National League. But
they never got kicked out.
There's others that have and have come back, like Aldershot and that, but the last one that got the boot was Maidstone in 1992, and they haven't come back yet. I mean, they weren't a regular Football League side anyway, but they've never come back to the Football League since. And you're looking at all them Bury fans, and we'll come back, club from the Phoenix and all that, and so AFC Wimbledon's the amazing case, isn't it?
That's the one you want to look at as the example of what can potentially
But they
happen.
had an immediate kind of fan base of 4,000 or 5,000 followers at that level, possibly even a bit more than what Bury will have if we're honest. And you've got other clubs who've obviously got massive financial investment, like Salford, who will come through them leagues easily, and that. It's going to be a massive challenge for Bury. We'll talk about it.
We will.
I genuinely, when I saw it, I didn't see the news when it broke. I saw it about midnight Tuesday night. I was upset. Like that's fucking shit.
It is. When you look at the amount of money they need to raise is 1 month of Sanchez's wages, and Sanchez hasn't even played for a month. He doesn't even get on the pitch, and he's made more money in that time than an entire football club needs to survive.
How much money did the Premier League clubs give Richard Scudamore for a payoff last year as a golden handshake? Remember how much it was?
Was it 40 million, something like that? I think they all chucked in a couple of million quid each.
I don't think it was that much. It was
more than
it was millions anyway.
Yes, for sure. Well, there we go. We'll talk about that next Friday in a pod dedicated to that. I'm sure it'll be interesting to hear from Bury fans as well. If you want to get in touch with me on DM on Twitter at Surgeon Show.
I'm not aware of any
in the FPL community.
But if you are, let me know.
Tag us, and it'll be interesting to chat to you before we put that podcast out. But Game Week 4 is here, so good luck, guys. Make sure you get your transfers in before the 11:30 deadline tomorrow. But if you can, hold out to the 11 p.m. News coming out tonight from the written press, which always has a slightly later deadline. And good luck. Hope you do as well as you wish for.
Good luck, everyone. Cue music, man, child.
Ciao for now.
The Fantasy Football Show.